Heyo, I'm Hobo. This episode 30? Pretty sure it's 30 of my Minecraft Survival Forever World series. And this episode, we're building a wall. Gotta keep all my villagers safe. I've been thinking about a wall design for some time now. And I think I'm gonna go with like a cobblestone for the most part. Exterior, and then the watchtowers will be of stone brick. This is a poorer village, so it's not going to be, all high in materials, but they do have a stonemason guild, so I feel like they could afford to have watchtowers made of stone bricks. I don't want them to be large watchtowers, though. Still keeping it, somewhat poor-ish. And the walls will have a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it texturing, but it will have a design. I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up, though, because this wall does go up and down a lot, so I might change it. Basically, I'm thinking it will be like kind of like a set of threes, and then I'll have like stairs, upside down stairs, and then stripped wooden oak logs. This would be stripped oak logs, they're obviously wood. I might change it though, because this wall does go up and down a lot. I would like to keep it relatively on the same height level as far as the walkway goes. Like I think it's called a parapet. Like the technical term. I could be wrong though. Anyway, where you would be walking up on the wall if, you were guarding it. I'm not sure about that. It looks too big. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it down. It's just too big, too wide. And then one more stair. I think that's good. And of course, you gotta have the upside down stairs. Make it a little curvy. That looks good. Now, for the top layer, I think I want to do upside down stairs there as well. But I need a stone cutter. Really should have one just like in my bundle. They stack, don't they? I feel like they should stack. But don't mind me. Just gonna yoink one of these. Thank you. Okay, could you move? How about I just open this gate here, and then you go, no? You gonna be a bum? Fine, be a bum. I'll go out the other way. Make sure to block that back up. Of course. Well, let's go ahead and block that, because you guys are idiots. And once this wall gets finished, I won't have too many builds left. It would just be a sheep herder, my building, Mason's Guild, Lumberjack, and I think I'm going to convert the current villager breeder into a stable house and put a speed tester here for horses. Because I really won't need to get these horses, tested, see if they're good or not, and find out if they're okay or how good, and yada yada yada. 100 yards. Oh, I also need to do the town square, the market area. Just as a few builds left. I don't want to talk about the future. Besides, like, outside of this one village. I know I spent quite a bit of time here. But I'm still thinking of, like, the rest of the world. Because I have a lot of ideas of builds and things I want to do. A lot of them pertain to lore. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. So I won't discuss the lore-centered ideas. But I want to start building up the capital. I don't know if I'm going to do, if I'll do the capital first or if I'll work on more villages. Because I want this Plains village to be one of several that join my nation. And if there aren't any other villages near this one, I'm just going to put, like, probably 4, maybe somewhere between 3 and 5 more villages that are somewhere near this village. Somewhat near. And then that'll be like what's joined my nation. And I want them to all be plains villages, if I can. Well, if they can't be plains villages, then I might turn them into plains villages. I can cut down a forest, make it a plains village. I feel like cobblestone stairs might not be the best option. It looks kind of nice, but it does feel like a lot of cobblestone. I missed the feature where you click your bed from like 3 blocks away. That was really nice. A little difficult. That's better. Alright, stone bricks definitely looks better. But it's still not quite right. I think it needs to come out 1 more. already looking better. Gonna have to do something with the hole there, but I like this much better. I know, realistically, in castles that they had murder holes, which is what that would be. But I like it if it wasn't there. Also, I don't want to fall through. Oops, wrong block. They need to have more inventory slots, or hotbar slots. Another thing that I've been thinking about, well, I guess I can talk about it this episode. I've been wanting an Asian update for some time. Now, let me clarify. I want not necessarily a different building style added into the random generated structures, but I want like kind of like an Asian themed update. So maybe we get, say, things like sushi and rice. That would be very nice. That was not supposed to rhyme, but it did, and I kind of liked it. Anyway, I like the idea of having rice, and then, we already got fish, so sushi, and we already have seaweed. Sushi really isn't that hard to put together. I mean, sure, sushi does have other stuff like cucumbers and et cetera, shrimp, whatever. But that's like the main two things or three things, I guess. Rice, sushi, and seaweeds. All we're missing is rice. I said sushi, I meant fish. And I feel like rice would be an awesome update. And then we can also add in animals from China. Maybe, I know what I want to add. I want to add the red panda. I think they're adorable. They're funny. I know they're not great pets. I don't care. I think they're awesome. It could be like an environmental thing. Because they did that same thing with pandas, bring awareness to endangered animals. I really wish they didn't choose the panda. I know why they chose it. It's popular. A lot of people like it. It's just a really, really dumb animal. And I don't find it super cute. I know that's like a very hot take. A lot of people disagree with me on that one. But to me, pandas aren't that cute. And they also, if it weren't for humans, they would have died off. They don't like reproducing. Which I find hilarious that they're actively not wanting to save themselves. Anyway, that's a whole other subject for another day. Not that I hate pandas. I just don't, I don't love them, I guess. They're okay. They do some funny stuff. Like I've seen where pandas, where they don't have a mother, they have other humans teach them how to do stuff. So like this one panda, he scrunches up his face and makes like a weird face every time he breaks bamboo, even though he's like a several 100-pound monster who can snap bamboo like it's nothing. He still makes his face because that's what the guy who told him how to do it, or I guess showed him how to do it, did. He made a scrunched up face because he's struggling because he's a human, not a couple 100-pound monster. Anyway, bit of a tangent, but I would like to see an update for a Asian themed update anyway. Any other things other than rice and, sushi and red pandas? They've already got bamboo. trying to think of what else would be more Asian themed. I mean, obviously, I think they're called pagodas. It's obviously very Asian themed structure, but it's not very Minecrafty. Now I know that Minecraft has a bunch of biomes that are already in Asia, like the savanna, tropical forest, desert, etc., tundra, whatever. I know they have the ocelot, which is also, actually, I don't know if that's an Asian creature or animal, I guess, or if that's from South America. I forget. Either way, Asia has a similar small predatory cat that lives in the jungles. So I get that they already have a lot of Asian-esque things in Minecraft. I just really want an Asian update, okay? I want red pandas. I don't want it bad. Also, sushi and rice would be awesome. But they could add another biome that I feel isn't represented too well within Minecraft. Now, I have seen a few large mountain ranges, but nothing like the Alps in China. I believe that's where they are. I know the Alps stretch over several countries anyway, so I'm sure it hits China. But the Alps are known for being a very steep and high altitude climate. And they already have the mountain goat, which they love those kind of climates, or areas, whatever. We could just add steeper mountains and have them run along typically several mountain ranges. And if they really wanted to go the extra mile, they could raise the build limit and just make them even taller. I think that would be awesome. So I know a lot of people love like huge mountain ranges. It's just awesome. So Mojang, if you're listening, big mountain ranges. We love them. That's all I got for Asian update. Their words. Although they could add a couple more mobs, like koi fish, and I guess you could add the caiman. Is it the caiman or the monitor lizard? I don't remember. Anyway, those would be cool things to add. One of those two, or both, I don't know. And there was one other creature. I mean, they could add birds, obviously. I think it was a specific type of bird, like it was a larger bird. I like to see larger birds in Minecraft. I think that'd be cool. Because, like, right now we don't have big flying animals. We have the bat, and we have the parrots. I mean, it's cool that there's flying animals. I want to see something big, you know. It doesn't have to be a predatory animal. I guess it would be predatory, but I mean, it doesn't have to prey on humans. Maybe like a hawk, or I would love eagles. I think that'd be cool. I know it's not Asian themed, really, but I still would love eagles. If it was more American, but I still think it'd be awesome. While we're on the topic of American stuff, they need to add deer. I know deer are all over the world. There's Indian deer in Europe, and all places. Still, I would love to have deer. And they can add any number of deer. There's whitetail, there's blacktail, there's the bear zinga, those are Indian deer. They even have the midget deer, little, they're not called tuk-tuks. It's a weird name, but they're like dwarf deer. Except they're not pudgy. Basically just smaller versions of deer. They don't have huge antlers either. There's a couple species of those. They're just like basically smaller versions of deer. Anyway, deer would be awesome. And while still on the subject of America, moose and bears, both. No, we have polar bears, but I want a black bear. You know? Something that's not normally hostile to people. Typically, black bears will leave people alone unless they're like super hungry or they smell food and they want it. Like, if you're sleeping in a tent and they smell food in your tent, they might break in your tent to get the food. They're not there to kill you, but they're just there for the food. Occasionally, black bears do attack people. It's pretty rare, but sometimes you get a big black bear who's hungry or desperate or territorial, whatever. I think it'd be cool to have black bears. I love bears, obviously. I like red pandas. And although I feel like pandas are separate, at least red pandas are separate from bears. I know pandas are more bear, but red pandas are their own thing. Which is weird to me that the panda got its name. Another subject for another day. We could also add, while we're still on the subject of America, not squirrels, wrong one, pronghorns. Pronghorns are basically the antelopes of the American plains. They're super fast. Well, I wouldn't say they're super fast, but they're pretty fast and they run for like forever. And they look pretty cool. They got antlers like deer. They don't usually grow as big as deer can grow, though, as far as horns go. And it depends on where you go, because I know Florida deer are pretty small, and then you come up north and the deer get bigger, depending where you're at. But anyway, the pronghorns are not huge. They're like maybe 4 feet tall, maybe 4.5. They're not huge animals. I like to see that. And I'd like to see either wolverines or honey badgers, because they like to fight things that they have no business fighting. And I think it's hilarious and the best thing in the world. Well, maybe not the best thing in the world, but I think it's pretty awesome. Like, there's videos all over the internet of honey badgers fighting the stupidest crap, like hippos or elephants. And a honey badger is like the size of a gallon of milk. It's not a big animal, but he's got a big heart. Big attitude, anyway. But enough about words. It still sounds wrong. Enough. Anyway, I think I've talked extensively about what I wish Minecraft would update. I know everyone's looking for the end update, which, to be fair, it could definitely use a little love. I think that even with the lore as it is, that they could update it and it still fit into the lore just fine. Not talking about my lore, I'm talking about like the overarching theme that they have for their lore. There's definitely lore. And it would still fit into, I'm sure if they did it, it would still fit in with what I have planned for lore. And if not, then I could just rework it to fit better. And I have thought about letting the villagers up here, and I think it's okay for them to come into the watchtower. I think that'd be fine. It'd be kind of cool if I saw them up there from time to time, but I don't want them up on the wall. I just can't see a good way to build this wall and, keep it safe for villagers at the same time. So it's going to be villager free. I'll just put an iron door on the watchtowers or whatever at the second floor so they can't get up onto the wall. But, yeah. I think that's going to do it for this episode. I will do a little off-camera wall building between this episode and next. And, yeah. See you guys. Oh, wait. Don't forget to like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.